Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for ThermOWeb, and I'm here to share with you this back to school dinner layout created using some amazing new goodies. So there are new card fronts, adhesive transfers, and stamps that all coordinate, and I am using them to create this 12 by 12 layout. So my intent here had actually been, you can see the colors down the left hand side and then the colors that I put on the right hand side. So I've got the cooler blues and greens here on the left hand side, and so I'm following the color pattern that is down the side of this 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper from 49th and Market. And so I'm stamping and then second generation stamping so that it looks like there's a shadow. And so I'm going to do these blues and greens over here on the left. And then I'm going to do the warmer yellow, orange, red, and pink on the right hand side. My original intent was I was going to do happy and use those stamps on the left hand side, and then see the hellos that are at the top right. Yeah, I meant to switch to the hellos, but I think I got so I was having so much fun stamping that I just kind of kept going with the happy. So I was happy about my happy. But that was the intent, was to actually use both sets. And there's no difference in the stamps and the size. You have the graduated sizes other than the words themselves. So you have hello and happy in lowercase letters, both smaller and then larger, and then you have it in all caps in just one size. So that is what I'm literally doing here. With my Distress Oxide inks, they wipe off super cleanly and easily just using stamp cleaner, and that is just paper towel from the kitchen. Actually, it's from my scrap room, but what would be kitchen paper towel. And so I'm repeat stamping and using all of the stamps, but only one of the all caps because just because there's no reason for it. I really liked having the graduated sizes of the lowercase letters there. So that is how I am using the new stamps. Then with each stamp set, you also are going to get the adhesive transfers. And so those are kind of like stickers that you use for foil. And you can use those, as I'm doing here, in either a die cut machine or you can run them through a laminator. My laminator needs to be warmed up and I am lazy. I will be the first one to admit to that. And I do like I like the instant gratification of just being able to run it through my die cut machine. So each of those shapes there does have the words. So for happy and hello does have a coordinating metal die that goes with it, which is also super awesome. So you do not have to hand cut them. And so I want to put some foil on the page itself in order to get some texture and some as well as just some sparkle. So here I am using the adhesive transfer with the coordinating die, and because I didn't initially stick it down on paper, I am putting it on acetate. There is no reason I couldn't have put it directly on the page, but I will put something else directly on the page. You can see I've got those two drinks there. Those I will put directly on the page. I could have put this directly on the page too, but I really wanted to use the card front as well and this to just get different textures within the page. And I knew with this acetate that I wanted to sew. I will warn you, putting this on the acetate, that the foot did leave a mark going through the foil. So I am foiling this now. So I've put the sticker onto the acetate. Now I'm cutting the right size piece, putting that on top and literally just running it through, and voila, that black picked up the foil. And now I have a a super shiny happy on acetate to add to my lovely collection of all of the blue and green happies at the top there. I thought maybe I might use the negative in the black, but it stands out too much, and so I don't need that really dark contrast. So these stickers you can actually rub directly onto whatever surface it is that you want. So you can see this was way too big to run through my machine, so I literally am just using a well, it's kind of like a bone folder. It's the rub-on stick that comes, they used to be carrot sticks. And so I'm literally just rubbing the adhesive transfer down onto my page, cutting the appropriate size piece of foil, and you want to put pretty side up. So the silver side is always going to be down to the sticky, and the colorful side that you want, the color that you want to see, will be up facing you. So you can see there's silver on the back of this red that I'm using here. So I'm going to cut a piece that's just slightly larger than that lovely little beverage there, cocktail. Take off the cover, rub that down, gently use my carrot stick there to rub the foil, and voila, like super easy, super, super easy. I could have used one of the larger words to do that as well. I didn't want the 49th and Market collection has a little bit more of a vintage feel to it, and so the vintage with too much of the foil to me just was sort of a dichotomy. And I didn't want too much of that sort of in-your-face contrast that was there. So I am going to use some of the pattern papers here from the collection in order to frame these photos. Again, just to make them pop, because there is such a rainbow of color. I wanted to just frame out these photos. And you can see I've got another one of the new transfers. I've cut it out, and I'm going to apply that directly onto the photo. And it says "Here's to you" because we are each holding our cocktail or mocktail, as the kids' case may be, over that fondue pot. And we're saying cheers to the last, it's not really the last day of summer, but this was our back to school dinner. Nicholas went back to college, university 3 weeks ago, and so we had one back to school dinner because it was pretty expensive. And so it was kind of our last hurrah dinner before he went off to Blacksburg. So I just want a splash of color on either side of the photo, something that's going to draw it together. So you can see that I have used the opposite color palette. So I've got all of the blues and greens on the left-hand side with the top photo, and then I'm going to use the pink and the orange with the photo. And then the photo of the yellow, orange, red, pink is going to have the blues and the greens, just to kind of integrate the layout and tie it all together. So there is a hop going on today. Today is Friday over on Instagram as we release these products. So be sure to head over to Instagram where you could potentially win a prize for this as well, and check out all of the other things that the other ladies and gentlemen have made with this new product. It is super cool, and that there is a coordinating metal die is just phenomenal. Super, super, super awesome. And if you are more of a card maker, there are cards, as well as there are a few layouts over there. There's actually, maybe I think it might have been shown earlier in the week, but also be sure to check out somebody's back to school pails and treats for teachers. Those are super cool too. So now I'm going to use the card front. I have cut out the piece that I want, and I'm running that through my Mink that I preheated. This is where I'm applying the "Here's to you" directly onto the photo. I didn't cut a large enough piece, but you can't tell that it's not large enough, and literally I'm just rubbing directly onto the photo. So super awesome that you can do that. The card fronts have to be run through a hot laminator. I will tell you that. They cannot go through a die cut machine like the rest of the adhesive transfers can, and So make sure that you know the difference between the two and are able to run it through a laminator if you get the card fronts. So again, the coordinating die works for both the stamps as well as for the card fronts and the adhesive stickers transfers, and so it works for all three. That's what I just ran through, and so now this is where I'm just going to get a little bit of texture for my layout here. I am going to off camera use some thickers, really old thickers. I want to say that I noticed the date of these was from 2008. I think it was either 2004 or 2008. I can't be sure. But I am going to off camera put that down the middle that says back to school. And I want to put dinner in there somehow. I just am not sure how I'm going to do that. So I've left it as it is because they're not actually going back to school. They are eating dinner. This is our back to school celebratory dinner. The other thing I am going to do off camera is the little star or the asterisk that is also from this font. It's a grid. I'm going to put over the little beverages that I have at the top and the bottom there. So the happy is going to get stitched on. I have used my ThermOWeb foam, my endless roll of 3D ThermOWeb foam to adhere that happy there from the card front, and that is going to wrap it up, my friends. So again, check out the description box down below for a link to the IG hop, and well, it'll be a link to my own personal IG, and then you can join the hop from there. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.